Can you feel it? Can you feel it? We just crossed a line. We just crossed a freaking line. And I'm not just talking about a political line or a military line or a protest line, although those are happening and those are important. We just crossed an existential line that we're not coming back from. And it's go time. It's go time, folks. So, you know how all of us psychics and energy workers are new age, la la la, and all that, we talk about we came for this time? We came for this time. We've been preparing for lifetimes. We've done a lot of preparation this lifetime. We have been growing. We have been healing. We have been doing our thing. We have been learning how to work with one another in protest. We have been learning how to speak up and network and do supply lines. And all of that counts now, and it counts from here on out. And here's the message I want you to carry through this whole thing. This is what Spirit Team said to me last night. So I watched LA all day yesterday. So today is Sunday, June the 8th, 2025. I am recording this at about 10:30 Pacific Daylight Time. So after watching all the stuff that has gone down in Los Angeles Friday into Saturday, and that was on the heels of the great big bromance fallout. After all of that, I sat down last night with my pendulum and Spirit Team, and I said, okay, team, give me the beta. Here's the deal. You know me. I like to get very deep and specific and complex and articulate. And I started doing some of that last night, and Spirit Team said to me, they're like, Dana, you do not have all the information to report on this. Here are the things you can report on. So the number one thing I can report to you that Spirit Team said over and over and over and over again last night was, it does not work. It does not work. This whole thing, this whole blow up thing that's happening right now, and it's going to get bigger. It is going to get bigger. You need to know it does not work. It does not work. So that's the first message that you need to see. Number two, I have more complete information that will be coming to you on Wednesday. Like I just said a little while ago, I was pendulum checking last night, going crazy with it and getting this and getting that and picking up on things. And I can feel like Star Nation Captain come in. He's like, Dana, you don't have all the beta. You don't have all the details. And so if you report this, it's going to be inaccurate. So what I want you all to know is I'm working on this. I'm paying attention. I'm going to be tracking things. I'm going to be pendulum checking. When I feel like I have a full, accurate picture, I will release that. And Spirit Team is saying that's going to be right around Wednesday-ish. And I've got a lot of irons in the fire this week that I'm working on. This is just one of them. And they all connect up with one another. So that was number two. Information's coming. It is not complete yet. Number three on the list is that Spirit Team said more than once to me last night. They said, there will be an intervention. There will be an intervention with all of this going on. And I'm just like, I start pendulum. Who? What? When? Like, what does that look like? They wouldn't answer. And they were kind of telling me, like, you're not getting that. You're not getting it. And then I got up this morning and it was just full on in my face. People, we, you and me, we're the intervention. We are the intervention. We are the ones that we have been waiting for. We're the ones that create the intervention so that this does not work. And it cannot work. We don't realize how powerful we actually are when we come together as a collective and do our thing. Remember ants? There's more of us than there are of them. Keep telling yourself that. Number four, this is a prediction. This was repeating this morning. As of now, and we know LA was not the first city that they came to for ice raids. They were in Boston. They were in Minnesota. They're going to be in other places that, and they have been in other places and they're going to be in other places. Spirit Team said to me this morning, they said, Dana, prepare people for Houston. I think they've got Houston on the list next, and that makes sense because guess what? Houston is one of the most diverse cities in our nation. And it's in Texas, and there's a huge immigrant population there. So this is me as a working psychic, as a journalist working psychic. People in Houston, get ready now. From what I am receiving from Spirit World, that is their next target. We need to be ready. 5 on the list. You ready for 5 on the list? That freaking military parade. There is something up with that. So here we got bromance fell apart over here, and billionaire egos got bruised, right? And then we've got all these different raids going on over here, and in the middle of it, just to pump up somebody's ego, we've got a military parade. And what is that, on the 14th? That's on the 14th. And what I say in my last forecast, some about the 14th, some about the 14th. So this is a big week. And Spirit Team is, I don't know why Spirit Team is bringing this up so much. The thing about the military parade, either there's something symbolic or there's something energetic or there's something that's going to happen. I don't know. But it's kind of like, be aware of the dynamics around that. And as I'm saying that, I get like all this unrest, all this, oof. There's something up with that parade. Oh, we got to be prepared. Spirit Team has been talking to me about 20 days or 20 cycle or June the 20th. And I don't think it's June the 20th. There's something about 20 days. So when the bromance breakup happened on Friday, Spirit Team started saying 20 days, 20 days, 20 days. And I think what they mean by that is we're going to be living through June, a 20-day escalation of this. Now remember, we are also doing timeline jumps, timeline jumps, timeline jumps. So if you are looking at this whole thing and you're going, oh no, they're going to clamp down on us, and stop it. Just freaking stop it, because A, it's not going to work. We're the ones that we've been waiting for. This is what we came for. This is our breakthrough point as the breakdown happens, right? And we are going to be in about 20 days of an escalated cycle. So pace yourselves, be prepared mentally and emotionally for what we're going to be walking through. And all I can hear right now from Spirit Team is like 20 days, 20 days, 20 days. So we're going to be living through this for about 20 days. Then there's some sort of intervention. We're the intervention. And then something happens out of all of this. Number seven on the list is, what can we proactively do? Because I got to tell you, as I watched everything unfold in LA, which is very different than what's happened in these other cities, right? As I watched what was unfolding in LA, I could feel through my body a rising rage, that was part of it, and then a deepening calm, like, these mofos are not going to get away from this. I literally had that feeling of like, my grandfather did not fight hand-to-hand combat in World War II against Nazis for them to come through the back door in this country and pull the stuff that they are pulling right now. So I kind of had a tipping point feeling, and with it, you know what I'm going through right now? I am going through like this ultra calm of like really calm, really collected, thinking very clearly, and being very aware of my mental state of presence and my emotional state of presence, and how I want to very specifically spend my energy. Like, no whirligig energy going off in this. No, focus. We need to stay focused. And so here on my number 7 of this whole list is, what can we do? What are the things that we can consciously, constructively, in a grounded, co-creative manner, what can we do as part of this movement? And the first one is not buy into the fear. All right. And I'm not talking about like force feeding yourself, that whole thing. Like, yeah, you got to do your feels. But once you get through some of that, land in this place of the information that I've given you. What they're trying to do, it's not going to work. You know, ultimately, we are the interventionists. Ultimately, we're going to break through out on the other side. And if we know this, What kind of state of being do you want to be in, and how do you want to contribute to the movement in a calm, constructive, collected, focused kind of way? Here are some suggestions. The first one is Los Angeles, City of Angels. This morning I woke up and I tuned into LA proper, and all I could see were the angels. The angels. And the last time the dumpster fire tried something like this, I remember this. This was during the BLM protest movement. Trump got real close to trying to pull something like this, right? And I feel like that was his first imprint. And all my Facebook friends were like, oh, Dana, he won't do it. And I could feel him coming through and trying to do it. And it was his second round. It was his second round right now. But what I saw at that time and I see now is there is an immense, a huge movement of divine support. So one of the first things you can do is tune into LA proper and just send all kinds of waves of light. Call in the highest and the best support angels, as huge and as small as they need to be. And we need to be wrapping the LA protesters in white light, gold light, and blue light to support, guide, and protect them through this whole thing, because they are our boots on the ground people through this movement, and they deserve all of our support. So that's one of the first things that you can do. That's one of the first things that you can do. One of the second things that you can do is, we know we are in an information blackout here in the United States, and so you can take some time every day and make sure you find pertinent posts and you like those and you forward those, you get those reposted, maybe even you make your own posts talking about it. But the more that we can bump the information and keep the information flow going, the better off we all can be. And we can do this across the country. And if you are international, you can also do that in your country as well to help us keep the information flow going. That's number two. The number three thing that I saw happening this morning is there are people on the ground already beginning to ask the LA protesters what they need physically for support. And so we need to watch for drop zone addresses where we can do drop shipments of things like first aid and supplies, so the protesters on the ground have the supplies they need to be able to do what they're doing. Whatever financial and material support that we can provide for them, it's going to be very helpful. It's going to be very helpful. And so I just want you all to know that there's this bubbling thing of we're trying to figure out what they need. There's beginning to be lists of that, but we need to do our boots on the ground work, find those addresses and make sure they're reputable, and then begin to get those out so we can get supplies to our people on the ground. This is the information that I've got for you for now, both kind of like on practical, psychic read, energy read kind of stuff. Heads up, I finished the pendulum check on the Senate yesterday, and a quick shout out to Emily. Thank you so much, Emily, for compiling the congressional list of 435 representatives. So I'm going to begin to work on the representatives this week, but very soon I will have the Senate pendulum check report with video out, hopefully end of the day Monday or sometime on Tuesday. And then later on today, I will be releasing the forecast for this week. Remember, Spirit Team said this week was going to be spicy, and I don't think that is going to disappoint at all. So I will have that out hopefully later on today. That's what I've got for you for now. Make sure you do keep walking forward to meet those miracles along the way, and I will see you in the next video.